So if you want to see how I created this makeup look using viral TikTok drugstore makeup, then keep watching. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So grab a cup of tea or coffee and let's do a full face of viral TikTok drugstore makeup. So we're going to be using some of the It Girl faves, some of the cult favorites in the drugstore at the moment. Now when I say drugstore, for a UK girl, I mean things you can pick up in soup drugs. Some boots, but obviously boots, you have the high end as well. Let's take this bare face and do a full face of drugstore viral makeup, and let's start with the base. We are actually going to start with primer, and this is a primer that I have not pulled out in a long time. This is the Maybelline Baby Skin Instant Pore Erase Primer. So I am going to apply a tiny bit of this just in the areas that are in need, and so I'm just going to apply a tiny bit of that on my forehead, and then I do like to apply the tiniest bit here because I can get a tiny bit oily, and then my chin. Then we're going in with a cult favourite of mine anyway, and the fact of the matter is my collection is very much drugstore and high-end, so I do have a few products that I just use in my daily routine. So this is the L'Oreal Lotion, and this one is in the shade 902. I'm using this one today because the foundation that I'm going to show you in a moment is a little bit deeper, so I got that because I'm travelling, so I don't want to use the deeper lotion because I don't want to make it too but I'm just using the brush to blend. I love these lotions. If you guys haven't tried them out, I would highly recommend. I just absolutely love having makeup. I think I make a difference. So next we're moving on to brows. So I use two brow products really, and the two gels I use are from the drugstore anyway. So this is the e.l.f. what is this called, the brow lift, and then I also use the NYX. I'll pop a picture of it here, one as well. But the pencil that I started using is from Benefit, so I don't actually have a drugstore pencil. So we are going pencil free today, and we are going back to just the gel on the brows, which is something that I haven't done in a hot minute because ever since I got the Benefit pencil I've been using it. So I'm just using gel, which is gonna feel a bit weird. My brows are a bit naked, but honestly this gel is so good. If you haven't tried it, it is a little bit difficult to get the hang of, I won't lie. At the beginning it's a little bit confusing, but once you get the hang of it, honestly your brows do not move. And then I'm gonna go again. Let's go on to concealer. This is the NYX Professional Bear With Me Concealer Serum. I say I started implementing this recently, and it's honestly one of my favourite concealers. I still love my House Labs, but this one is just so good, and I was really pleasantly surprised with it. So I'm just doing that under my eyes. Honestly, this is just such a lovely finish. It's not too full coverage, it's quite light, but it is buildable in my opinion, and it just blends into the skin so seamlessly. Honestly, just looks like your skin but better, and I absolutely love it. So I'm just in areas that I feel like I need coverage. Now I'm moving on to a brand new product that I actually bought yesterday. This is the e.l.f. Soft Glam Satin Foundation. It is the medium buildable coverage long lasting foundation with a 1% hydrating hibiscus complex, and mine is in the shade 20 Light Clair. Now I think this is a little bit deep for me, but again I bought it to go on holiday, so we are gonna try it out today. So I put about that much on the back of my hand. I'm going to start with that and see how it goes. I'm just going to use my normal foundation brush that I always use. So this is going to be a first impression as well, and wow, that blends so seamlessly. It's actually not as dark as I thought. It actually is bright. Wow. Oh, I love the finish. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, I'm thoroughly impressed with that. Okay, I need a bit more products. This is £8 as well, which is pretty insane. Wow, that is just beautiful. It's the most beautiful coverage. It is quite a full coverage foundation. I think it says it's medium, but I would maybe argue that it gives you more of a full coverage finish. However, it's very light on the skin, and I am going in with quite a small amount because I don't want to wear all that much. But wow, it is lovely. It's beautiful. It's honestly like it could be in an Armani bottle. Maybe not Armani because the luminous silk is the luminous silk, but like you could put that in a designer bottle and no one would be the wiser. The formula is so good and I love the finish. It's just beautiful. It's blending so seamlessly. It's covering up all those little blemishes I have right away. And it just is the most beautiful finish. I really like satin finishes. I just think it just gives you perfect glowiness, but also it has a little mattness to it anyway. And it's not too shiny because I do get quite shiny. I think it's perfect and it's also only £8, or I believe it's also $8, which for us going over to America is going to be cheaper. So if the shade is too light, I can actually just run into like a Target or CVS and pick up a deeper shade. But wow, I am so impressed. I absolutely love this foundation, and I think I might have just found my favourite drugstore foundation. I would really check it out if you guys haven't. I'm obsessed. So next we're gonna go on to contour, and you guys already know what contour I use. This is the e.l.f. Pale Glow Beauty On Contour in the lightest shade Fair Light. So I'm just gonna use this to contour the cheeks. So yesterday was the football semi-finals, so now England are through to the finals, which is yay football. I'm not a massive football. Well, I mean, it's fun to go to like the pub and support and stuff, but I'm not really that into football. But my graduation is on the Monday, and I think my parents and everyone want to go all to the pub because they might be staying. And my sister and that, they all want to go to like a pub. So I think I might be trying to go to the pub on the Sunday at Russia. My biggest fear is using the wrong brush for my products and actually being a powder brush and then it's but I'm just blending that out. I absolutely love this. This is staple for me. I use it all the time. It's part of my everyday makeup routine. And if you have got a fair complexion, I'd highly recommend looking at the e.l.f. contour. It's just one of the ones that really is a true contour shade for us girls. I put a bit on the nose, but I don't like necessarily really contour my nose. I just a little bit. So to add a little bit more warmth back into the face, I'm going in with this. It's the Revlon Colour Stay Skin Awaken Caffeine and Vitamin C Fibre More Concealer. However, I get mine in a deep shade, which is 070, and I use this as a bronzer. So I just find that this just gives you the most beautiful warmth, and it just really adds that warmth back into the skin after using the cool bronzer. So I do really like going in with this to add a little bit more youthfulness and bronziness back to this face. Again, I'm using the same brush. I tend to do that with my bronzer. Are you supposed to? Probably not, but fine. I don't know if you can see that, but it just adds a little bit more bronzy warmth to the skin, and it kind of just makes you look like your sacrist, while the contour is just adding the definition and the shadows to the face. Now, the one thing I do not have is a cream blush from the drugstore. I know, I'm a cream blush girl. I love cream blush, but I seem to have not got any from the drugstore, which I was really shocked at. So I'm thinking, if you guys have any recommendations of the best blush, please leave them down in the comment. Let me know what yours are. I wasn't sure which ones to pick up, But I am going to go in with a bit more concealer. So this is a different one. This is the L'Oreal Perfect Match Concealer. And this is in a really light shade. I think it's an N1. And this is just to add a little bit of brightness under those eyes. So I'm just going to corner, a little bit around the mouth, and then just bits under the jaw. And then, of course, you know, we are going to blend. And it just really brightens up that under eye. I haven't used this concealer in a while, and I have to say it really does brighten. It has a really lovely brightening effect, which I kind of forgot about, to be honest, but it just makes you look really bright under the eyes. Wow, I am impressed. I feel like doing videos like this, you're kind of implementing products that you haven't used in a while, or products that you use all the time, and then you kind of pick up those products again and you're like, oh, I should use that more. And I just really like that. Now all of our cream products are in place, we're gonna set, and we're gonna go in with an oldie but a goodie. This was my favorite for a really long time, and it still is a favorite of mine. I've just gone back to using my Huda, now it's summer. But this is the Maybelline Superstay 24-hour powder, and I've got mine in 03. It's like this. Now this is also a really good powder for pale skinned girls. I absolutely love this powder. I think it's honestly a really great powder to stay in place, and it is one of my favorite pressed powders, and it is also very pale. So I've got mine in number 3, and it is quite a pale shade, which is good for us pale girls. This is in a really nice shade, and it just is so beautiful under the eyes. However, it is a little bit pale for how I want to look in the summer. So that is why I started using my Huda Beauty again, as that is a little bit of a deeper shade. Just blends a little bit better with the deeper complexion, which I'm hopefully going to be getting even more tan when I go away. But I have got a little bit of a tan. You can't really tell in a minute because I've just put a bunch of really pale products on that are probably a little bit too pale for me in a minute, but it's fine. We're working with what we've got. I do really like this powder, and I would recommend it if you haven't tried it out. So next is a powdered bronzer. So this is my favorite bronzer at the minute. This is the L'Oreal Bronze to Paradise bronzer in the shade 03 Back to Bronze. It's a really lovely shade. This, and I'm going to be using this just to add some more life back into the face and a bit more colour. I really like this bronzer. It's really like fine and buildable, which I find is great with bronzers, because my pet peeve, which I actually find with the NARS one, I don't know if that's just me or if other people have this issue. The product itself is very pigmented, and I find that sometimes you can put too much on to begin with, and then you just really have to work on blending it out. Whereas with this one, I find it's very buildable, and I actually prefer that, because then I can build it up to how I want it to, rather than putting some on and then having to really blend it out because I've put way too much on. And I just think it's the perfect shade as well. It's not too orangey, but it still gives you that lovely warmth, which is what we always want out of a bronzer. So next is a product that is newer. I say newer because it's not new, but this is one I wanted to pick up today because I didn't have a cream blush, and this just gives you that bit of pigmentation. So even though I want a bit less pigmentation in my bronzer to make it more buildable, with my blush I do like quite a pigmented blush. Obviously we don't want it too pigmented where you dab it in the product and then it's like your traffic cone, but we do like a little bit of blush out here. I am a blush girl. I love this colour as well. This is the Revolution powder blush in Blusher Reloaded, I think is the, oh no, it's the Revolution Blusher Reloaded Powder Blush in Pink Lady, and look at that shade, it's just stunning. I absolutely love this blush, and I'm just gonna apply that to my cheeks because I don't have any cream blush underneath. I really wanted a colour that sort of stands out on the skin and just has that pigmentation, so you can really see that I've got blush on. And I think this is the perfect one. I'm also just being very light with it and blending it from apples of my teeth up into my hair. I tend to go from here up to here. I find that that's just where my blush looks best, but do wear your blush how you think it looks best on you. I think experimenting and trying out all the different types of blush technique is really what works best, because I did that. I went on TikTok, I saw all these lovely ways that you can apply your blush, and I tried them all out, and for me, I just prefer the way that this looks, because I do think that if you think blush doesn't suit you, sometimes it's the placement, but at least that was what it was for me. So I'm just going over my sponge to make sure that is blended seamlessly. Let's move along to my favorite part, which is eyes, and I'm going to bring you a little bit closer. For eyes, I'm actually again going in with a new product. This is from Morphe 2. This is the Ready in 5 eyeshadow palette in the shade Malibu. Let me just show you the palette. It just looks like this. It's beautiful. The shades in here are stunning. And I actually picked this up in Superdrug, which I didn't know Morphe 2 was in Superdrug, but it is in the one in West Hills and Stratford. So it comes with 5 shades. We've got Out on the Sand, Beach Glitter, Sun-Kissed Glow in the middle, Sun-Baked, and Tan Lines at the bottom. And first of all, the names are so cute. The palette itself, the name is Malibu, which I think is really cute, and the shades are just perfect for the summer. And I'm bringing this with me to Charleston, and I think it will be incredible. So I'm going in with this lighter shade here, which is Out on the Sand, and I'm just going to use that to sort of set the eye a little bit, because my eyes are creasing and we need a little bit to work with. And I'm actually going to go in with another big fluffy brush and go in with this shade, which is Tan Lines. That gets a beautiful shade. I absolutely love it. Now, one thing I will say about this palette is it is quite plasticky, like it's very... it kind of feels a little bit flimsy, like, not to be rude to Morphe, because I actually really like their shadows and I really like how this is all blending out. I have to say it's a beautiful shade, and the price, it's £7. This was cheaper than a Milani palette in the UK. It might be different in the US, but in the UK it is cheaper to get this Morphe palette than it is a Milani, and it has the same exact amount of shades, but it does feel a little bit flimsy, which is my only concern when traveling. However, it is so small and it's like kind of clipped in, so I feel like if anything did break, it's condensed, and it's so little that it's perfect to just chuck in a makeup bag, because as much as I love bringing my eyeshadow palettes, some of them are just too big and I end up just not having enough space and my makeup's getting in the way. And I do put my makeup in my carry-on, because I don't know, that might just be a me thing, but I don't want my makeup to go missing. But my makeup has always been something from a young age which I love, so I'm just going in with a fluffy brush to blend that a little bit more. So I've always kind of cherished it, and especially if I spend money on it, I want it sort of on me when I'm traveling, so it won't go missing. Some people might think that's ridiculous, but I just have always sort of cherished it, especially when I was that bit younger and I spent all my money that I worked or that I got for my birthdays on it. It kind of just was like, I don't want to lose it, it's special to me sort of thing. So next I'm going to go in with the shade Sun-Baked, which is this shade here. And again, it's a really lovely warm toned brown. This palette is very warm. If you prefer more cool toned colours, there is a cool toned palette as well. This is not the one for you in Malibu, but there was another one in store with it. It's the same 5 shade palette, just in a different shade. If I can find it, I will leave it on the screen and link it. But Morphe has always had really great products and really great shadows in my opinion. So when they came out with Morphe 2, I thought it was a really great idea. And it's also so well priced and good quality, so you really can't complain. And then I'm actually taking a brush that's kind of shaped like this, and I'm going in with this shade, which is Beach Glitter. It's just here. I'm just gonna start to apply that to the dark. Just to add a little bit of glitter to the eyes. Now I have quite hooded eyes, so I need to take that kind of further than someone with more heading space, because otherwise you won't see it. Then taking another fluffy brush, I'm going to go in with this first orange shade at the bottom that we use, which is tan lines. Smudge that on the lash line, just add a bit of colour and sort of just ties it a little bit. I do it quite messy as well, because I will clean up with a bit of powder in a moment, and then I'm just going to blend over. Okay, I'm going to go back in with the powder we used earlier, and also I'm getting a little bit shiny for those eyes here. There we go. Anyway, of course, it's a little bit shiny as well. So that is the eyes using the new Morphe palette, and I'm actually really obsessed. This will definitely be coming with me to Sculpting. I love the shades, I love the colours, and I think it's come out really well. It is eyelash colour time, so let's curl the lashes. Now for mascara, there was a mascara that I used all the time from the drugstore, and I wonder if you guys can guess it, if you guys have watched a few of my videos. Tell me in the comments what you think it is, or what your favourite drugstore mascara is, because as much as I love mascara, I tend to not spend a lot of money on mascara except for that Refy one. That was sort of just an on a whim purchase because I saw how good the reviews were, and I have to say I'm in love with it. But before Miss Refy, there was Sky High. This is the Maybelline Sky High mascara in, is this one in waterproof? No, I think this isn't in waterproof. I think whichever packaging this is, if it's waterproof or not, this one is better. But I do love this mascara as well. It is still a really great mascara, and I do pick it up every so often. But I do love the Refy one. The Refy is my favourite, however this is my favourite drugstore, and I call it my second favourite mascara. I do like the CoverGirl mascara as well, but you can't actually get that in the UK. So when I'm in America, I will be doing some shopping for makeup, and maybe I'll do a haul for you guys when I get back. So next is highlighter, and this is from Wet n Wild. This is the Precious Petals Wet n Wild. I'm sure you guys would have heard of this. This was really popular a while back. Mine is broken, but you know what? She is still an amazing highlighter. So I do love it. I just really switch out my highlighters every so often. So sometimes it'll be this, sometimes it'll be my MAC, sometimes it'll be Anastasia. I do have a fair few highlighters that I really love and enjoy using, and I just switch them out every so often. So I'm just applying that to the high points. But yeah, if you're looking for a really good drugstore highlighter, this one is the one. So now we're moving on to lips. So I got this Smart Fusion lip pencil from Kiko in the shade 31, and I'm using this. This is $4.99, so I think it definitely fits into the drugstore category because it is only $4.99. And I'd highly recommend the Kiko lip liners. Honestly, they are so good. Some of my favourite well-priced affordable lip liners. I'm just following my lip line. When I'm using a deeper shade like this, I tend to follow my lip line because overdrawing them just doesn't look as good. That is the lip liner. I really love the shade. It is maybe a bit more of an awesome shade, but the lip product that I'm using on the top just makes it that perfect pink brown shade. So I really love these. These are probably some of my favourite lip glosses from the drugstore. This is the Maybelline New York lip gloss. So this is hyaluronic acid in, and what are these ones exactly called? The lifter glosses. So these are the lifter glosses from Maybelline. You have these ones, and then they also have the plumping ones. These are some of the best lip products that I've used from the drugstore. I think these lip glosses are incredible, and they're just so beautiful. They are creamy and they are buttery on the lips, but they're not sticky and they're not tacky, which I absolutely love. And they just give you the most beautiful shine. And as you can see, it kind of just nukes down that brown a little bit into sort of a deeper pink. Now, I don't own a setting spray from the drugstore, so I don't have anything to finish my makeup off with. So lips is the last stage. If you know any good drugstore setting sprays, please let me know. I've heard some good things about the e.l.f. ones, and I've heard that they're very like similar to the Charlotte Tilbury ones, but I haven't tried them out. So if you guys have any recommendations of drugstore setting sprays, let me know. So this is the finished makeup look. This is my full face of drugstore viral product. Some of these you guys would have seen all over Instagram and TikTok and YouTube, of course. Some of these are a little bit newer. I'd call them hidden gems, if you will. I really love this makeup look. I really love how it's turned out. I actually will use a lot of these products now in my routine. So that's why I love doing these videos, because I'm going to be implementing a lot of these back in. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe, and leave me some product recommendations from the drugstore down below. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye!